Hey guys, and welcome to another day on 251 Designs. I'm Corey, and today we're going to get into some maintenance on the Langmuir CrossFire. It's a little bit dirty in here. I've been cutting a lot, so we're going to clean some stuff up and make it a little prettier. It's not perfect, but we're going to get some maintenance done, so let's hop into it. So if you've seen any of my previous videos or haven't, I'll put them in the link in the description below. But this is my Langmuir Systems CrossFire. So it is the XL version, which means it lengthens the Y-axis to make the whole table almost completely usable. It's about 26-ish by 33, so that helps out a lot whenever you're cutting stuff and you don't have the bigger table, which is a 3x4. Eventually we will build a 4x4 on this channel, but as you see me cutting and using this, I have a lot of dirtiness inside, outside. The slats, they are very well used. They still have life on them. I can clean them up and everything else to make sure that I can ground good and it sits a little bit level. But my main factor is just cleaning everything up, making it usable and pretty and everything else. I've had it for over a year now and I use it quite a lot. So let's take a look and see where we're going to start. So the first thing is I've already moved the torch out of the way and it's kind of all the way back in a secure area. Next, I want to pull these slats off, but I'm not going to do it individually. I'm going to pull them off as one unit because I don't want to deal with that right now. And it's easier to pull it off by one unit instead of getting dirty and everything else with all this water. As well as we're going to drain about half of the water for right now, and then we're going to get a scraper and scrape the bottom as much as we can and let it be loose so it drops down into my bucket down here. So I have a drain right here. It is not the biggest drain. I wish I would have gotten a bigger drain for this, because any particles that aren't very big, I don't know the actual size, they get stuck in there. So we have this TIG rod, which is my plunger basically. So let's start draining this. We just push this down and it drains it. Next, we're gonna watch right here, as here's the drain hole, and we're gonna let it just drain out. Like I said, we're gonna let it get to about half. We're gonna get a scraper and scrape the bottom of this. It is stainless, and so it won't be too bad. There's just a lot of crud and built up metal in the bottom of it. So let me get my scraper and we'll pull these slats out. Alright, so I picked up most of the big pieces. I still got a lot in here. I would use gloves. This is metal. But yeah, there's a lot of scraping, a lot of cleaning. Like I said, I've been cutting on this for a little bit. This is about the 4th time I've cleaned it in the past year and a half, 2 years, something like that. So just trying to get all this nastiness out. Still got to scrape some more. Well, while that's draining, I like to sit here and wipe down all my rails because they have residue all over them. So I like to take some WD-40 and a rag or a little light Scotch-Brite and Scotch-Brite them a little bit so that I make sure that it's a clean surface and that as it's riding, it doesn't hit little pieces of metal or dirt or anything else and just start skipping. So we're gonna clean that, as well as I like to wipe down the threads on here so that they don't have anything either. I mean, this is a plastic piece up in here. It rides on just tension on it, but with that. I would rather it not be able to skip a beat or get stuck or anything like that. So I like to wipe them down as well. I like to put WD-40 on it and then run the motors back and forth to get all the bearings and everything else really nice and lubricated and cleaned out. Because if you don't, these things can get pretty much just like up here, just nasty and dirty. So I like to run everything, clean it up, wipe it down, and shine it on up because they get dusty and dirty. So like I said, this is dusty and dirty from just use, and it gets everywhere. So I'm gonna keep cleaning. I'll wipe all this down, try and clean it up a little bit, and yeah, we'll keep going. All right, well, pretty much wiped down everything except for the threads so far. I gotta get my computer out here to make that work. But I wiped down everything else, all the horizontal surfaces, the wires. Started down there. I got a lot of bottles for water, but the plasma needs a little wipe down. This whole shelf needs a wipe down, but I gotta get done up here first. We're gonna vacuum all this out with a shop vac, so I can have it all done, and then that's going to get a wire wheel to it and just cleaned up, refreshed, and everything should be good to be thrown back in here. The consumables on the torch, I just changed it 3 or 4 jobs ago, which weren't big jobs, so works out pretty well. But if you haven't seen the build for this, the build for it is, like I said, it's a Langmuir Systems CrossFire XL, which meant I have the longer Y-axis. With that, I put a little water shield on here for the electronics. This is just out of galvanized. I got free galvanized from a AC company, and they helped me out with giving me a lot of different metal. The galvanized makes some good signs, so if you can get it for free, little idea for you. All the wires are kept good. I tried to put them all up as well as I could. I P-clamped as much as I could to make sure all my stuff is out of the way. I have casters on here versus just the feet because I wanted to be able to roll it around. Everything in my shop I like to roll around, as well as I put this removable shelf on the bottom. So that shelf just holds everything that I need for the machine, so I can roll it in the corner and everything is with it. Just like my razor cut 45 down there, it sits on the machine with everything else, so it's all good. I'm gonna finish cleaning this up real quick, and I'll have to go get my computer like I said, and we'll run the machine and clean out all these threads with a nylon brush as I run them as well. So let's do that. And just to show you, this thing won't ever be perfect, so don't get your hopes up and think you're going to make it perfect every time. This is very good for a 1.5 years worth of use, and yeah, I mean, I could probably keep scraping. I'm not going to do that. That'd be too much of a pain in the butt. So we're good with this. We're going to move on to the slats and cleaning those threads. Well, using this table, which is my Harbor Freight clutch V-Vor table, I put casters on it. I did a full build on it. It's on the channel. Go check it out. You'll like it, or you'll build one. So let's get back to putting the slats back in the machine. All right, slaps look good. They're back in. They're not 100% perfect, but that doesn't really matter. If I really wanted to, take the grinder down to it and just smooth it all down to make it 100% flat. I'm not worried about that. So I gotta go get my computer and test a few things out. Anytime you're messing with your plasma table, you need to make sure this arm is level with the ground and 90 degrees towards your y-axis. So always make sure all your bearings are snug, not too tight, and that the adjustments are good. The way you adjust these machines is you loosen these up right here on all four corners, and you pivot the arm up and down. So once you do that, you tighten it all up right here. If your bearings are giving either way, you snug them up with the Allen wrench right here. Same goes for these. So works out pretty well. But anyway, back to what we were doing. All right, so got fire control up. See the torch back there? All right, we got all that running. Now what we need to do is we need to come back over here, set y'all up, looking at that, and I got my nylon brush right here, and I'm going to clean all these and get my rag out and get all that cleaned. All right, now we're done. Everything is clean. The entire setup is cleaned off, ready to go. Bearings are all greased again. They've all been moved. Cable management is cleaned up. The whole interior of the table and the pan is clean, ready to go for some more cuts. All the controls are cleaned and wiped down, so we're good to go. So hopefully we'll be cutting soon so we can see how smooth it goes, because I don't like the gritty, just nasty sound it makes whenever it has grit and stuff like that in the bearings or on the runners. So yeah, well, I want to thank you for joining in to another episode of 251 Designs. If you have any questions or anything like that, hit me up in the comments. If you want to check out any of the other fabrication builds, budget projects, or anything else, check out the playlist. And as for this, you'll see it in future episodes with more. So hopefully we'll get that 4x4 table built very, very soon. I don't want to wait too long. Shouldn't cost too much. Should cost a quarter, if not less, than what this table cost. So till next time.